welcome back to HNS Collectibles. This is Cody, and so today is Bruce Campbell's birthday, so happy birthday, Bruce. For that, I thought I would show off my Bruce Campbell collection. I was a little bit torn over whether or not I wanted to dig through my movies and pull out, every movie that he made a appearance in that I have, and actually Mark of Horror did that. So I've got a link to Mark's video in my description below. Check him out. My video is just going to probably center on the figures, a couple of DVDs that you see piled there on the left, and some art prints. So happy birthday to Bruce, and we'll get right into this. Okay, we're going to get started off with a Army of Darkness figure, and actually I had to go in the living room and grab something, and I did a quick count. So I have 13 Arnold Schwarzenegger related figures, either from Terminator, Commando, Predator, and Bruce beats him out by one if you count Evil Ash in the background there as a Bruce figure, which I do, because he was originally a clone of Ash. So anyway, Bruce takes the cake. So this is one that I actually did a video on recently. I picked this up on Facebook, just through an individual, out of the package, for an awesome price of just $20 plus shipping. This is the Medieval Ash from Neca, cult classic. I forget exactly which series it's in offhand, but you can see it in my more in-depth video on him just within the last couple of weeks or so. So yeah, Medieval Ash. Up next is the Bubba Hotep figure of Sebastian Half. This is also a NECA Cult Classics. I've got a separate video on him and Bubba Hotep himself. It's leaning a little bit. I need to work on that. But he's a very cool figure. He's got his mojo bag, got his walker, ready to fight the mummy. I love this movie. It was such a bizarre concept whenever I first heard it pitched and that it was coming out, but it just works so well. And a great performance by Bruce. Awesome performance as you'd expect by Ossie Davis as well. And just terrific direction by Don Coscarelli. So, and an awesome soundtrack too. I love the soundtrack to this and play it often. Up next, and this is just a little guy, a reaction figure of the two-headed, sorry about the focus, two-headed Ash. Wow, cannot get that in focus. That's alright, the faces don't look incredible anyway. I don't know if he was supposed to have had a little gun or not. I found this for his hand is shaped like he should be holding a gun. But I grabbed this for like $1 out of a loose figure bin at a convention, and just thought I needed him. I don't have. It'd be awesome, I think, if NECA made a two-headed Ash figure. That would be a lot of fun. So yeah, two-headed Ash reaction figure. Okay, up next is the Mart Ash figure from NECA, one of the newer ones from Ash vs. Evil Dead. This is when he worked at Value Stop instead of Mart. And a couple things with this figure. One, he has his hand shaped like he's holding a weapon, and he did not come with any weapons. He's the only figure I have that included the wooden hand from the TV series. But I just think it's so much fun that the doll is attacking him in this. You can have her hang off of his face. You kind of hook her foot in his mouth, and it's a little difficult sometimes to get it to stay on there, and if he falls, she goes flying. But still a cool figure. Okay, sticking with the Ash vs. Evil Dead, because I did not line these up chronologically at all. This is an Ash vs. Evil Dead. Not an Ultimate Ash, I forget what they called this, maybe just Hero Ash. and he did come with I don't think he came with much more accessories for him. Like there is an ultimate version of this figure that I think comes with the hand from Evil Dead, which is a lot like the Power Glove, kind of a joke there. But this set I won at a little toy show for playing a video game and getting the high score within an hour. And it was Ash and the Evil Twins. So at the time when I set these out, I did not have room on the shelf for both Evil Twins. And since they look alike, I only put one on the shelf, so the other one is still in the box and currently in a pile of boxes with the others. So I may get that out at some point since I have a bigger shelf now. But yeah, Ash versus Evil Dead with one of the twins. So this one is a favorite of mine. This is a Neca cult classic. Or not a cult classic, Real Toys line that they did when they did several Evil Dead 2 figures that just came in, a blister pack, not an ultimate figure. But this is the Farewell to Arms Ash. Immediately after he cut his hand off, he comes with the hand, and I keep the hand just on his shoulder because I think that's kind of a fun pose. And he's got a shotgun, he's got the stump bandaged up. This is the only one I have where he has the bandaged stump, which is just, fun reference to the movie. This one came with Linda's head and the tape recorder. And I think in the meantime now what you can get at Walmart is the Ultimate Evil Dead 2 Ash. And he is kind of a merge of these two figures, so I'll go ahead and show this one right now because it's not much to him. But this is Deadite Ash. So Ash from Evil Dead 2, after he's been possessed, he came with a book to hang on to, and that was really it. Practically the same body, a little bit of variation on the shirts, but really the same mold. But I think in the Evil Dead 2 Ultimate that Walmart has now, you get both of these heads, plus maybe the Hero Ash, which I don't have. It just rolled those 2 or 3 figures that used to be available separately into one. I bought both of these back several years ago at a convention for like $20 each. So there they are. Next up, while we're focusing on Evil Dead 2, is the Evil Dead 2 Anniversary set. This is a 30th anniversary set where you get Evil Ed and Hero Ash and a few accessories. This is the box that they came in, which is, a callback to the poster art from Anchor Bay. And you can see there's 2 alternate heads in there for Ash, one where he's kind of grimacing, one where he's looking a little more determined, and then an extra head for Evil Ed. And I knocked him over when I did that, sorry. Pop his chainsaw back on. There we go. So yeah, this is sort of an updated version of the Hero Ash that was available that I didn't have, so that was good for me. It comes with the chainsaw, of course. Lots of nice paintwork on the chainsaw. It looks really good. And I got a separate video for these guys too. There's the shotgun, a sheath on the back. This one comes with a Necronomicon that actually opens up and shows some of the artwork from the movie. It comes with the Kandarian dagger, which, man, I'm having a hell of a time with focus today, but take my word for it, it's cool looking. And it looks a lot more like the dagger from part 1 than part 2, actually, in my opinion. And then Evil Ed, you have a choice of how to have him. He either comes with a complete head or the chop top head, and this is kind of how I keep him posed, with that head just laying on the ground in front of him. But this is a nice set, and very nice for the money, actually. I think it was something like $45 when it first came out. It might be more like $60 now. $60 seems to be going price for NECA 2-packs. But yeah, very cool, well worth getting. Okay, up next, just to get them out of the way because they're little, Funko Pops. I think that there might be a variation of this one available. So this is Ash versus Evil Dead because he's got the little gray sideburns. But I think there was one where he had blood splatter on him. This is just kind of the basic one, I guess. Cute, fun, guy's shotgun, guy's chainsaw, no mistaking who he is. And then this is the Army of Darkness Funko Pop Ash. This is actually my daughter's, and it's on loan right now for the video. So, yeah, there's my Funko Pop collection of Ash. And one of the best accessories I forgot to show for that NECA 2-pack is the possessed deer head from the wall. Sometime I want to try to make a little cabin wall diorama and mount this on the back. Okay, up next I'll show them together because they go together. And actually the one back here goes with them too. Army of Darkness Mcfarlane toys. So these were part of the movie Maniacs series. This was Army of Darkness Ash. I forget what series of Mcfarlane. I'd have to go look. And he came with a Necronomicon, a robotic hand, his chainsaw, his shotgun, and then one of my favorite details for this one, he came with a little Ash with the fork that he gets stabbed by. Oops. Very, very good figure, and one of my earlier figures that I got that got me on the figure collecting kick back when it came out, late 90s, early 2000s, something like that for these. And then in the next series came out Evil Ash. And Evil Ash came, of course, with his cape, a pretty good face sculpt, and the two swords. And I think at the time you could actually get them in a 2-pack. I bought mine separately. And then a separate 2-pack that came out later was Ash and the Pit Witch. And I do like the Pit Witch. Got the chains hanging off of her, just kind of gnarly decay. Pretty good sculpt of the face of that thing. And these were available in a 2-pack. I don't think you could get her by herself. I ended up finding this later in a bucket full of figures at a con for $10. So I thought I needed it for the collection. But yeah, I think there were 2 separate 2-packs to get these, or you could buy these 2 guys individually at the time. Okay, back to Evil Dead 2. So this is Evil Dead 2 real toys again, NECA. Henrietta, and she comes with this stand so it can look like she's floating. Pretty good sculpt of Ted Raimi and the makeup. I like that. And just the general nastiness of her body and how decayed she was looking. Comes with the alternate head, the attack head, or whatever you want to call this nasty thing. It looks great. It looks a lot like the movie. I really like how that turned out. I don't keep this posed on it just because I don't have enough height on the shelf. So I just basically keep her like that, with the attack head, setting underneath. There is also a Henrietta from the Ash vs. Evil Dead series. I just don't really care for how it looks compared to this one. I like the Evil Dead 2 look, so this is the one that I have, and I don't have the other. Okay, getting into the home stretch now, and I actually had to raise the camera a little bit for this one. So this is Mart Ash. This was a Cult Classics from the end of the movie, and it came with the little cart that he rides in S-Mart, which was full of water bottles. So it comes with one little water bottle that says S-Mart on it. Of course, the flashing blue light, which is not powered or anything like that. The cart does roll, and Ash himself, if I get him off of his pegs, so he's got the lever action rifle, which has price tags hanging off of it. He's got the holster hanging off the side, which has a price tag hanging off of it. He's got his S-Mart labels. I bought this at a convention for, I don't know if I'd call it a fair price or not. I think he was about $70, and I got the guy to go to $60. And when I got him home, the labels had fell off of everything. It was old enough in the package, probably 10 years or more by that point. But I was able to reapply everything with super glue, and his holster, his scabbard, actually broke off the side, but it's got kind of a little keyed plastic interface. I was able to super glue that back in place. That's really the only thing about, collecting or finding these older figures, is sometimes you'll deal with a little bit of dry rot or adhesive issues. But yeah, glad I found this one. Really like it. Like the presentation of it on the cart. I think maybe we could have had a few more water bottles. But yeah, it looks great. Love him in his smock, and ready to tell that woman to leave the store. Okay, and continuing on, this is the Hero from the Sky, Ash. This was a 2012 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and he's sepia tone, like the end of Evil Dead 2 where they're cheering for him. This is a very recent pickup. This was in the haul video week before last, and was actually the main focus of my past Friday video, if you want a closer look at it. This is one that I was aware of for a while, just never had picked it up. Found a pretty decent price on Amazon with Prime shipping for really the same price that they go for on eBay, and a bit cheaper actually, a few bucks cheaper. So yeah, Hero from the Sky, Comic-Con exclusive Ash with the base. And another piece that I completely forgot. This is the movie poster that goes behind the Mcfarlane figures from the movie Maniacs. It's one of the first ones that they pumped out that was really thick and big and heavy. Later they got cheaper and lighter, and did away with one side, and was a little harder to keep the poster in. But this was always, I thought, a nice presentation piece. It's got some heft to it too. Okay, so not Bruce Campbell specifically, but an Evil Dead lighter. My brother-in-law got me this for Christmas years and years ago. Says it's from Blue Grape Merchandising under a 2001 license to Renaissance Pictures, and it's got the picture of her looking up from the cellar on it. I think he got me this, and also a Stargate Zippo. This is one of those imitation Zippos you get at, like, say, Spencer's Gifts or a place like that. But real cool that it says Evil Dead on it. I appreciate him getting that for me. Okay, so I wish I had this when I was a kid. Of course, I was like 14 when this movie come out and wasn't carrying a lunchbox by then. But this is a Neca lunchbox of Army of Darkness. I'm pretty sure that this came from Spencer's Gifts, if I remember right. Got a little holographic sticker on there that says Neca Limited Edition. 1999, that's probably what I paid for it at the time. I've got some other lunchbox items, but this is the only one of the newer lunchboxes that's got the thermos, and it says Neca there on top of the label. Yeah, never used it, anything like that. It's just always sat on the shelf in the background of my Ash figure shelf. Okay, crank the camera up again a little bit. This is the Neca Ashi Slashy puppet. Some friends got me this for a birthday a couple years ago, and I love it. It's awesome. He's always just been sitting in a box in the living room on top of a shelf until I recently got the corner shelf done. So now he is on display in there. And he is a functioning puppet. You can put your hand inside and run him. I need to make some kind of a wood clamp to put inside of him to hold his mouth shut while he's on his little stand here, because otherwise he just kind of goes slack-jawed like that, and I think he'd look better if he, always had his mouth closed. But really cool, a lot of fun, and a real fun part of that show. Okay, and now front and center, the big guy in the background. This is the Neca 18-inch, I'm sorry, not Neca, this is Movie Maniacs Mcfarlane 18-inch Ash from Army of Darkness. He was motion activated and made sounds. I do not currently have any batteries in him right now, so I can't really show you that, and I don't have batteries on hand, so I apologize. But he's, just basically a bigger version of that other Movie Maniacs figure. Same kind of sculpt. And if you had him turned on and you walk past him, there was a couple motion sensor holes here in his chest. He would say groovy, or come get some, or this is my boomstick. And he does come with the metal hand that you can swap out if you like. But I usually just have it laying at his feet. But yeah, that's the 18-inch Ash. Okay, and then one of my favorite little knick-knack items that I have is a piece of the cabin from Evil Dead 2. I picked this up at a convention, and it has a certificate of authenticity, and yeah, there's a little bit of reluctance to just take a chunk of a board from someone and believe that it's part of the cabin. But the fact that they were from a reputable store, they're the same folks who run the store that's in the Monroeville Mall, and they sell pieces of the Monroeville Mall. You can get pieces of the escalator, stuff like that. Things they were selling here was pieces of the cabin and pieces of the rock around the cabin, so like the coal chips that he buried Linda in, things like that. But this is a piece of the cabin exterior wall. You could get pieces of the door, pieces of the porch, pieces of the window frame. But this was the biggest chunk that they had on the table, so it's the one that I grabbed. But yeah, just sort of a little piece of movie history, I think, is why I got it. And besides that, from them, I also bought a piece of the handrail from the escalator in Dawn of the Dead. And then looking at the DVDs, of course, Bubba Hotep, one of my favorites. Just going to kind of focus on things he was the lead in. He is not in this, but Evil Dead the Musical, kind of a fun watch. This is sort of like a $5 convention bootleg copy, so it doesn't look great. The Evil Dead Remake, which I think is a fantastic show, along with the director cut. That I want to thank Sean Blue Digital for even making me aware existed. The Anchor Bay Evil Dead Book of the Dead edition. This was a really cool set. Artwork from Book of the Dead in there. Little booklet on Evil Dead. Let's see, the disc was actually housed on the last page. Mine, unfortunately, has succumbed to some dry rot over the years, but on the spine, I think probably from exposure to light, since it's right there on the spine. But the rest of it's nice and pliable, so hopefully that lasts a long time yet. Getting some crumbs on the table. Evil Dead 2 on Blu-ray. Evil Dead 2 Anchor Bay 10 edition, and this is number 18,058 out of 50,000 copies. Also have the Halloween 4 box. Just thought they were really cool. The Evil Dead 2 Steelbook, I believe this was FYE exclusive. This was in one of my latest haul videos. And just really liked the artwork on it and caught it on sale, so got the Steelbook. Then parts 1 and 2 on 4K. Have not got to watch them on a 4K TV yet. But they do look a lot clearer on my regular TV than my old one. The Scream Factory 3-disc set of Army of Darkness. Missed out on getting that steelbook, but I did get this. And then Anchor Bay again, Army of Darkness limited edition, 26,394 out of 30,000 for this release. And this had the director cut and there's the director cut and the theatrical cut. So that's pretty much it for the discs I was going to show. As I said, Mark of Horror has a great video listing all the movies in his collection with a cameo by Bruce. And then just to show you around the office a little bit at different art prints, and I do apologize for the glare. There's a great charcoal drawing of Ash that I keep behind that movie Maniacs figure. This is from the same artist who did the charcoal drawing of my Part 7 Jason behind my desk, and I cannot remember the guy's name. I apologize. Down here on this wall, a couple of other prints, such as the Ash vs. Evil Dead poster, and then another one of half Ash, half Deadite Ash called Who's Laughing Now. Just really like that artwork. Panning up a little bit, this is a canvas piece that I got of Ash, and it really looks like the Ash vs. Evil Dead Ash, but he's standing in front of the dancing lady trees. Got this off of actually the same artist who did these tombstone prints at a convention, the convention where I met the Phantasm cast last fall. So that was a nice find and a nice print. Then tooling over to this wall, this is a print from Byron Winton that I really like, of Cujo, Jason, Leatherface, Michael, Freddy all riding, and Christine, and Ash is driving the car with that smirk on his face. And going across, up above my desk is our photo op with Bruce Campbell. So we actually got to meet him at a convention, and he was pretty cool. It was kind of brief, really quick, but still a lot of fun. So that is it for the Bruce Campbell related collection. I hope you liked it. If you made it this far, congratulations, and thanks for sticking with me. Like and subscribe if you haven't. Of course, I got a video I shoot for every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and we see how I do. Sometimes I make it on those days, sometimes I don't. And then, of course, we have our Saturday night streams, which is usually me, Cadaver Club, Mark of Horror, hopefully Project Ellsworth if he can make it, and then every now and then a special guest. So until next time, like I said, like and subscribe if you haven't. Check out Mark of Horror's video of or Bruce Campbell cameos. Won't call him Ash. And happy birthday to Bruce. And thanks to him for having such an impact on my collection and my interest in horror and just my general enjoyment of movies and film. So great actor and terribly underrated. And from what I could tell at the convention, a really nice guy. So until next time, I'll talk to you later. Thanks.